Today I've used really cute sweater knits to make actual sweaters for nice cool weather. It's a really easy pattern to make, sneak peek of one, and I've got 3 of them to share. Stay tuned. Hi sewing friends, I'm Karina from liftingpinsandneedles.com. Welcome to this channel that is all about sewing, limitless sewing, and I have some neat sewing to share with you today. Really easy projects to sew that will take not much of your time, but you end up with a beautiful garment that you really like. This design is for cooler weather, although I have made it once before and adapted it for the hot weather. This time I've revisited the pattern and I've made it like intended with the appropriate fabrics. What I'm talking about is the Serenity Sweater from Love Notions. This is a pattern that was released in 2018, I believe. The Serenity Sweater is only $5 today. It is the Feature Friday pattern. It's a really good day to get a nice pattern for much less. These patterns don't go on sale more than once a year at this price. So if you're planning to wait, you can wait a very long time until it's $5 again. Just as a reference, the last one was around this time last year. The Serenity is designed to be a layering piece, and you can choose between 2 lengths. One that's a little bit cropped, one that's around the full to mid hip depending on your height. And the original design has a crossover, and at the bottom there's an elastic that brings it in a little bit. So that is the original design. Later on, a free add-on was added to add a hemband instead, and that is the way that I've chosen to make my sweaters because I just like the hemband. And as for the sleeves, there is an official sleeveless, and then on the sleeve itself you see a short 3/4 a long sleeve option. Light to medium weight knits that have a lovely drape are the ones that are going to work the best here. So don't use a sweatshirting material or a ponte or a really thick fleece. It's just not going to look good because there's a draping effect that goes diagonal at the crossover. Lighter fabrics like sweater knits, modal, spandex, rayon spandex, those types will look nicer with this design. It's already had the sizing update, so it has the full range of Love Notions up to 5X. Size 5X goes up to a bust of 57.5 and a hip of 59.5. There is a standard and a full bust option in this pattern, so that's really good. I always make the standard bust, and I've made the extra large. I'll leave you my affiliate link down below in the description box, as well as the video I have already made about this pattern, because when I made it last year for Feature Friday, I decided to adapt the pattern for hot weather. I had up to that point overlooked the pattern. I was making it about 2 years after the release, and I just couldn't get past the fact that all I saw was sweater knits and people wearing it over camis and layering, and I was melting in the heat, sort of like I am right now. But then I thought, you know, I could just make this crossover be a little higher so I don't need to wear a layering piece underneath. Adapt my fabric, I used rayon spandex and I made it sleeveless. And then it just became a nice top that I can wear with hot weather. I don't have to worry about the pin because the crossover is high enough. So that's when I made this piece. This is rayon spandex with a really crazy print, and let me tell you how many times I've worn this. I have worn this so much this year. My husband and son are probably sick of me wearing this because it's so comfortable, it's so nice and fresh, and I just feel great in it. So I've been making the best use of this. The fitting changes I made here were not fitting changes as such. It's just because I wanted to use a hemband that's an add-on that appeared later after the pattern was made originally. So in the sew along that happened at Love Notions, they created this little add-on piece, and I really wanted to use it. And just taking some measurements, I figured out that the original length of the sweater plus the hemband was going to be too long for what I wanted. So I shortened my front and back by 2 inches and then added the hemband, and then it's the length that I want. The Serenity Sweater does have an official sleeveless view, so it's not like I'm making this up, and there's also a band to go along with that. The change I also made was to add a band to the neckline, because in the original pattern you just fold under and top stitch with a twin needle. But for these flimsy fabrics, that's never gonna work. So I just calculated and added on a band at the neckline. Goes all the way along, it's a really long band. So if you want to see a full pattern review and lots of the sewing for this one, go ahead and watch the video I made previously. Also check out my comprehensive blog post to see all the changes I made to the pattern. You can do it too if you want to raise your neckline. So easy, and I've got really easy diagrams there that you can follow. So my blog post is also linked down below. I've already shown you the one I made last year, which is my summer Serenity sweater. It's not a sweater, it's a top, but I've actually made a sweater now. A little while ago I made the Breckenridge Headley in a gorgeous red sweater knit. It's also a pattern from Love Notions, and I had a tiny piece of fabric left that had a weird shape, and I always thought, I hope I can fit a garment into there. So when I was planning my Serenity sweater, I was just planning to make one long sleeve top, and I did. But then I got out this piece and started playing around and figured out I could actually make a sleeveless one again. Minus the bands, I would have to cut that out of another fabric, and I would have to do a sneaky yoke. I'll show you a photo here of my layout. I just made my back piece a little shorter, folded that down, added a bit of seam allowance, and then cut the upper part of that into a yoke. Added seam allowance to the bottom of that, and that's how I could get my back piece. Sneaky things. Also for this one, I cut the hemband not with the greatest stretch as you would, you cut it in the same direction as all the other pieces. I just flipped my pattern piece so it would fit. I tested my sweater knit and it had a nice amount of vertical stretch, so I was sure it was going to work, although I would not recommend that. If your knit has minimal vertical stretch, that won't work. But I took the chance and I made it, and this is my red sleeveless Serenity sweater. It's so pretty. I really love this sweater knit. It's so soft, so pretty, and you can see that I've used bands made out of another fabric. This is a rayon French terry that's medium weight. And I had a good hard look at them and figured out they are the same tone of red. If it had been different or lighter, I wouldn't have wanted to use it, but I thought it was going to work out fine. So that is my sleeveless armhole with bands. I made the same band I made last year. Basically, you measure from here all the way around when the shoulder seams have already been sewn. I took that measurement that was 60 inches, multiplied that by 0.85, and I got 51 inches. So that's how long my band had to be. I divided this in 4, divided the band in 4, and sewed it on. What that does is just brings it closer to the body and prevents it from gaping. There is some spandex in here, but the recovery isn't the best. So I always thought a band was going to be a good option, and that was really easy. Then when you have all that done, you just baste along the bottom. You overlap the fronts all the way to the sides, all the way. I do a quick basting stitch so it becomes one piece, and then you add on your hemband. For this one, I have a seam on each side of the hembands that I was careful to match there, both sides. And here is my sneaky back yoke. I top stitched it to make it look intentional, like it's supposed to be there. Never think that you can't make a sneaky yoke to make your pattern pieces fit, because a yoke on the back is never a wrong thing or an ugly design element. It's there intentionally on a lot of patterns, so why not just add one when you need it to make your pieces fit? So I'm happy with that yoke there. When I buy online fabric, I get the fabric wrapped up in ribbon every time, and I've always thought what to do with that because I have tons of it. So I stabilized my shoulders with ribbon this time. I've just sewn it there while I was serging it, and it's really stable. It's not going to go anywhere. I was able to buy clear elastic from the US. It took ages to get here. It was so expensive. I had to pay taxes and import taxes. And yeah, I'm not going to be using clear elastic on shoulders if I have a ton of ribbon to use up. So that is another way that you can just stabilize the shoulders. Really easy. You just put the edge of the ribbon against the edge of the fabric, and as you serge, you sew that ribbon in, and it's really stable. Because it's a sweater knit and made for cooler weather, I have paired this with a long black top that's fitted underneath, a colorful scarf, one of my pencil skirts that I use all the time with a zipper. It's part of the Sybil Illusion skirt collection pencil skirt. Let's see it on. Here's a faraway look at my Serenity sweater. I made this one sleeveless in a sweater knit red. I absolutely love it. I did add bands to this one, to the neckline and the armhole, and I've got it paired with one of my Sybil Illusion skirt collection pencil skirts with a zipper and a long sleeve top underneath. When I adjusted my pattern last year, I had already raised this crossover, but it's still good. It's still enough that you can see my top there, and this drapes over the front like this. I think you can really see it in a solid. I think it's really pretty. The hemband brings it in. My sweater is 2 inches shorter than the original. I did that for the front and the back. I really like the sleeveless version, and the fact that I was able to make it with such a tiny piece of fabric left over from my Breckenridge Henley I made a little while ago. So it's got a really good use. I love the sleeveless. Another trick I did to make it fit into my fabric was to add a little yoke at the back, so there's a sneaky seam there. But that's never a bad thing if it's gonna make my garment fit into the fabric. Here's a closer look at the neckline with my band. My band is a rayon French terry in the same tone. Not that I didn't want to do the band in the sweater knit, I just ran out of fabric because I made this one from a little scrap. So that is my armhole, finished with a band as well. Super love this look. I always love the red and the black. Of course, I could pair other long sleeve tops underneath, but I don't have many of them that would go with this. The little pop of color here with the scarf makes me really happy, and I just really love the look, the outfit, the pattern. Love this design. It's so relaxed and nice, and I know I'm going to enjoy this when it gets cold. A little while ago, I was able to purchase some sweater knit with polka dots, and I've used the black colorway to make one of my Arlington dresses with a cow neckline. Super pretty. Of course, I bought another colorway because it's so cute, and this one is a navy back with gray dots. They're not actually white, and I decided to use this one to make the sweater with long sleeves. So nice. I made no changes. It's really relaxing to just go up and sew a piece where you know everything has been adjusted to fit. I knew how to cut the band. For this one, my cutting was a bit more relaxed because I had enough fabric to just lay out my pattern pieces, cut the hemband normally, and also be able to cut a long sleeve, which I wanted. I have a little bit left, and I'm planning to make down the line a pencil skirt that's lined. I would line it because it's not a really heavy fabric, so a good lining under a pencil skirt would be really nice, and then I could wear this and it would look like a dress. So I'll stop blabbing and just show you the cutest Serenity sweater. It's so nice. It's grey on the wrong side of the fabric. I think you can really see the drapey feature here, even though this is a print. Here is the hemband tucked in there. Super easy to sew, sleeves, everything. This took me no more than an hour, I'm not kidding you. Long sleeves with a twin needle hem. Actually, most of this was sewn on the serger. I only had to use the sewing machine for my shoulder seams and my twin needle hem, that's all. And the rest is all the same. I have the band serged on there. This is how the garment looks on the other side, so you can see the seams. It's so simple. Simple here to set in. I don't do it on the flat, I do it on the round, even though it is a knit. So I've used my serger for mostly everything, which made it super fast. This is how this looks inside. You can see one side crosses over the other. Here on the shoulders, I have also used the ribbon to stabilize. The ribbon has the name of the fabric shop, Boa Vista. Now I know what I'm going to use all that ribbon for, and I'm really happy I remembered I had all that ribbon to do this because it's a really nice option to stabilize shoulders for knits also. Recently I made a stretch denim glissando skirt, also a pattern from Love Notion, so I've paired it with this, and I added a little cami underneath for a pop of color, so let's see that one. This is my third Serenity sweater, super cute polka dot with a navy back and grey dots. I did again use the hemband because I just really like it. I have it paired with my glissando denim skirt that I made a little while back. I do have a red cami underneath just to give it a pop of color there to break up the blue. I could put any color under here really. Here's a closer look at the polka dot. I always find this so cute. Same fit here. I always have the band because I like doing that as well. Love this feature right here, how it looks diagonally like that. You have a lot of space, although it comes closer to the hips. It's more relaxed here, so it feels really nice. My sleeves, long. I've added an inch there so they can be nice and long. I've got a regular twin needle hem right there, nothing special. Here's a look at the top. Even though I have raised my crossover, it's still low enough that you can see my colorful cami under there, so I really like it. I would wear something under here because this is a sweater, so it was my goal to have a tiny garment under there, and I love the pop of color right there. I'm so glad I chose the navy polka dot for this one. I really like how it looks. It's so adorable. Plus with the denim, I think it's really nice, navy and denim. Really like the look. It's gonna be a nice sweater, and I really wish I could make more of them. A nice basic black one would be also really nice to have. Super nice make, super easy too. Definitely one that looks harder than it is. have inspired you to go into your stash and look for your nice sweater knits so you can make some Serenity sweaters. I think it's a really cute pattern and also super easy to make. It's way easier than what it looks like, and I love designs like that. Don't forget that this pattern is only $5 today. That is 60% off the regular price. It's a great day to get it, and I'll leave my affiliate link down below as always. If you purchase from there, I make a little commission. This was a type of show and tell video which are not common on my channel, but some patterns are simple enough, and when I've already made it and have sewing footage on the pattern, I'm not going to film it again, of course. So please hop over to the video I already made about this pattern if you would like to see more sewing there. Thank you so much for joining me today. I will see you again very soon. Have a great weekend, and if you do sew on the weekends, I hope you have a lot of fun doing that. Bye.